Support for the Lancast is provided by Pennsylvania College of Art and Design.
Welcome to the Lancast. I'm David Moulton.
And my name is Immanuel, joining my friend David for Comic-Con.
Welcome to one of the episodes recapping what's happening at the New York Comic Convention 2012. We hope you enjoy listening. New York Comic Con 2012. Emmanuel and me doing it large. I don't know. But the thing is that we didn't go today. It's the first day, and it was for press and VIP ticket holders and 4-day pass people. They had a big concert tonight, but it wasn't really much going on. Like, all the panels today were for basically for like education people and stuff like that. So not terribly interesting for us. Would you say, Emmanuel? No. He shook his head no. You have to speak because people aren't going to know what you're saying. So let's take a look at our schedule. What do we got going on?
Well, I know to begin, you really wanted to get into this Twilight panel, but I'm...
You're not... Emmanuel, think of the new movie's coming out. I gotta know which one of the two guys is going to take off their shirt the most. It's the big deal. It's competition. So what we did is something that we started doing last year, is we went through the day's schedule for the next day and put everything we were interested in seeing on our calendar. And now basically what we're doing, since we don't have anything to recap from the day, we're just going to go through the schedule and decide what we're going to see tomorrow, and then that's probably what we'll be talking about tomorrow night on the show. So, little story though, I had an interesting ride up here. I got on the train, and I'm waiting for the train, and all of a sudden I hear somebody going, "David Moulton!" And I look over, and it's Penn Ketchum from Penn Cinema, and he's also here at the con this weekend.
What's his last name?
What's that?
What's his last name?
His last name is Ketchum.
Like Ash Ketchum?
From like Pokemon? Yeah, I guess. But is it with a K for Ash Ketchum?
Well, we can find out.
It is. It's spelled exactly the same.
He should take it as street cred.
He should take it as street. Maybe he has a hand in the Pokemon games.
Ash Ketchum. If I meet him tomorrow. Catch him like Ash.
He probably will be like, what? So yeah, Penn Ketchum was there, and then Mark Ponce from Fine Living Lancaster was there on the train as well. And the two of them are both at Comic-Con. They had the 4-day pass, so they were checking out.
They were more legit than us.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, we were too legit to quit, but they were more legit than us. So yeah, that was a fun, unexpected fun times on the train. Just joking around, talking about Twitter, stuff like that. So then we got here. Manuel and I met up. We walked about 17 miles to dinner.
Talk about Twitter. Do you have to, keep it below?
You can't. Don't talk about Twitter if it's more than 140 characters.
I think you're over your limit now.
Oh man! So what? We went out to dinner tonight, a couple miles. Then we walked a couple more miles to get home. And Emmanuel lives in Jersey City, so we're just out of the. We're in Jersey, obviously. And
Garden State.
Yeah. We went shopping because Emmanuel's got a cosplay outfit. Why don't you tell everyone what your cosplaying is?
I will be dressed as one of the terrorists from That sounds really terrible.
I know, it's like the worst. But not really. I'm going as a terrorist. It's a video game. Yeah. It's a video game villain, right?
Yes, it's not really villain. It's more one of your picks. It's kind of an iconic character. But I mean, it's multiplayer, so there's no storyline or other development other than this is supposedly the bad. It's just an iconic outfit.
Ah, okay.
From Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Though I'm not as iconic as yours. I guess it's kind of niche, really.
I'm excited to see how many people recognize your outfit. I think this is going to be interesting. I am cosplaying on Saturday.
David gave me the nice idea of making a cutout cardboard weapon, so I think I'll go with that.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm cosplaying on Saturday for the cosplay day, and I think Emmanuel said he might go all weekend with his, but
Mine's
I'm only
a bit
doing it on
easier.
Saturday. What'd you say?
Mine's a bit easier.
Yours is way easier. I'm going as the Hulk, so I got to paint myself green, and then maintain that pristine green. Pristine green all day.
I'm actually curious in seeing the body paint. I mean, I don't even know. You literally just paint it on?
Yeah. I have some pictures online on my Facebook I can show you. It's really easy. It doesn't like mess anything up that it gets on. I mean, it messes up clothes, but like my bathroom cleaned up with no residue or anything. Unlike when I dress up like the Beast and I used acrylic paint and not body paint. And
Wait,
I think
you use just normal paint?
not like art paint, not like but real just regular paint. And there's still like blue in my mother's house. I think in some of the bathroom from when I did that.
I mean, there comes a point. I mean, you have to take these things seriously.
You do.
If you're not ready for that level of commitment, then maybe you shouldn't get involved in that kind of thing.
That's true. Which kind of leads into one of the panels we're going to be maybe seeing tomorrow. Let's go through our schedule. What do we got going on?
Well, we have the Twilight thing you wanted to go to, but
Yeah.
I think let's just go to Comics Hollywood instead.
Okay, Comics Hollywood.
However, we've agreed to disagree on which of the two gentlemen we like
We'll just keep
for the
that.
sake of our friendship.
Yeah. So the first thing what we've got is a bunch of overlapping stuff. So we have our primaries and then our secondaries for certain time slots. So the first thing we got slated for the day is actually almost afternoon, or it is afternoon. It's like 12:30, right? So the first thing we have slated is Adam West and Burt Ward's Spotlight. So they're going to be talking about, I would assume, Batman. Yeah. And
It'll
our back.
probably just be fun talking about whatever.
Yeah, they could talk about it. I don't really even know. But our backups for that time slot are the Christopher Lloyd question and answer and the musical comedians Dave and Brian live.
And Sir Terry Pratchett.
And Terry Pratchett, yeah.
Whose books I keep meaning to read but haven't.
But the next thing, this is what I'm kind of a little interested in since I saw the TV special on it. It's called Inside the Batmobile. We're gonna get a chance to watch a documentary on creating the Batmobile and all the different Batmobiles. It should be pretty interesting. Yeah. So what's after that, Emmanuel? What do we got coming up after that? What'd you say?
It's just we're going to a convention to sit and watch a documentary about the Batmobile, a fictional vehicle.
Well, it's about like creating it for the movies and stuff.
Right. But,
Yeah.
I mean, you must say there is something.
What you're trying to say? This is the highlight of our life at this point.
Yeah.
We've reached a new high.
Things to be thankful for.
Yeah. So what's next? What's after that?
Next, I think up is Samwise Gamgee.
Yeah. Sean Astin question and answer. It could be interesting. I read his autobiography.
Really?
Yeah. He came off as a prick. So sucks when you write a book about yourself and you come off as the bad guy.
But Samwise was the nicest of them.
Yeah. It's I guess because he was also the eldest of the hobbits.
You know, I don't think I've seen any of his other movies.
I don't know.
What's he made?
He was in Goonies, but the book was mostly about his experience.
Wasn't the Goonies the one about children or something?
Yeah, and there's like a deformed guy.
Was he one of the Goonies? Or?
Yeah, he was one of the kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
No,
he
I've
was
never
Rudy.
seen it.
He was in a movie called Rudy which was a sports film. But he basically said on the set he felt very disconnected, and all the other people talk about how they were like a huge family and they all bonded and everything.
Well,
but
I mean,
he had a family, and he was like upset because he was away from his family for so long.
And he didn't, get the ring.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of. He didn't
This
get
guy doesn't want to share.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so we got a bit of a break. We'll probably hit the show floor, check out some interesting things, talk to people, probably eat at that point, because it looks like we got a bunch of stuff coming up in the evening, so we won't have much of a chance. So that's a good time for dinner. But
4 o'clock?
well, we're gonna eat an early lunch, right?
Not that well, right? Maybe we should. Maybe we should buy something on the way.
So buy some what?
Buy something and carry it with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, or we can go eat. We can figure it out. But
Yeah. I
just
weren't
feel
the sandwiches there, they weren't like horribly priced last year.
oh, that's true. They did have the little cafe.
Yeah. It was just like, I remember it not being like as bad as I thought it was going to be price wise. I thought it was going to be horrible, and I think it was like
It was less expensive
$7 for a,
than the popcorn at the movies.
yeah, less expensive than popcorn at the movies. So after whatever we do there, I'm really interested in this one. It's called The Law of Superheroes, and it's all about like in the reality of superheroes, what the laws would be. Like, superheroes come back to life all the time. So would the people who inherited their money get to keep the money from the superhero, like the relatives, or what would happen?
That could be
If you
fun.
have vigilantes like that capturing people, how would that change the law? But we also have two contradicting things here. The Joe Simon Memorial Celebration. He's the guy who created Captain America, right? Is that what it
I
said?
think so.
But
Yes.
he hired Stan Lee. No.
Sorry,
Something like that. I don't know. It could be interesting. It's surprise guests. People might get copies of some book. I guess Joe Simon is still alive. I don't know.
No.
They're signed by Joe.
It's the day after what would have been.
Oh, his 99th birthday.
You shouldn't laugh at that. Yeah.
Well,
Yes, I know.
My mistake.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a possibility. And then our backup, because those are both, the last two are both kind of in contention for number one. But our last thing is an Anne Rice spotlight, which
It is with Anne Rice, right? Yeah.
she sold 1 million copies of her book, and she's not done. Something best-selling author. Following immediately almost after those is webcomics from hobby to business. Now, if you're a longtime listener of the show, you know I love webcomics, and every time we talk to somebody about webcomics on the show, I'm always talking about how I wish I could do it, and how do you make money, and so forth and so on. Well, this is how to do it, and it's hosted by Laura D'Souza and Ryan Somer, the creators of Looking for Group, and I am a huge fan of their comics. They also do Least I Could Do and Gutters, and Laura D'Souza is one of my favorite artists, and he's a pretty cool guy. I met him the first year we went to Comic-Con. I had a picture with him.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy, really genuinely nice guy. So that's everything that we've decided on so far. All we have to do right now is figure out what the next thing that we're doing is, next one or two things. Manuel, run us down. What are our options?
Well, if you take the door on the left.
Okay.
No. You mean for the rest of the evening? So I see you picked this College Humor Live.
Yeah, that's something I'm interested in, but I don't know. Like, I think it would be funny, but it bumps right up on the edge. Like, it ends when the next panel that we want to see starts.
Yeah.
And
I'm also not too big a fan of. I mean, I will admit they have done some of the funny skits on YouTube and things, but
okay, well, let's just skip it then. Yeah, let's skip it.
overall, I don't like it. I don't like most of it.
All right.
But
It's not like...
But like I said, I mean, if you want to go, I don't...
No, I put it on there because I was just like, well, I think our underlying rule for making the schedule is anything we think sounds remotely interesting, we just throw on there. So that's kind of what I was like, well, this could be funny if there's nothing else going on. But it does bump up right behind something I think that we both agree is going to be amazing.
The psychology of cosplay.
The psychology of cosplay. Cosplay is dressing up as characters, such as what Emmanuel and I will be doing this weekend. What's the description for this, Emmanuel?
Join these psychologists as they explore, and a bunch of names, as they explore the psychology of cosplay and discuss results of their interviews and survey. And some cosplayers will speak about their experiences. I guess basically, I think from the description I get it that these people who are so-called really into cosplay as a hobby will be sharing about why they like it and what. Basically, David and I are really just cosplay posers by this standard.
Yeah. No, I mean,
you've done it a few times.
I enjoy cosplay. I do it for movie openings mostly.
I did do Chewbacca once, so I can claim.
Yeah, you did do Chewbacca one. And you got on the news too.
That probably wasn't legitimate though. I mean, that was just a shelf-bought costume. I imagine the serious people would frown on that.
Yeah. They probably would. Yeah. They probably would. Cosplaying is so expensive.
Well, and just time some of those the hand-sewn ones and.
Yeah, I don't know. For those of you who know about what happened last year at Comic-Con, inadvertently was featured on a reality TV show on TLC called Geek Love.
Inadvertently?
Inadvertently, yeah. Is that not the correct use of the word? I didn't try out for the show or anything.
Right.
So, and the girl that I got set up with in speed dating, she was featured on the show. So as a result, I was on the show. Now she handmade her costume. All of it. And
really? She made that?
Yeah, and she did a good job. Anna did a good job.
That was what? That was Robin, right?
She went as Robin. Yeah.
That was a nice costume.
Yeah, I thought it was a good costume. She looked good. I don't know what she's doing this year. She might have told me, but then I forgot. So if you're listening, Anna, I'm sorry, I forgot. But Emmanuel and I.
That why it didn't work out?
Yeah, because I always forget. I was never listening. Emmanuel and I always go to the cosplay masquerade, which is Saturday night at the convention, and it's insane. And they have like all these people in crazy costumes dancing on stage, and it's one of those things where you look and you're like, whoa, that's cool, but at the same time you're like, that's a certain level of nerdity that I don't think I'm on par with.
In a few years.
In a couple years. Yeah. So, that would round up the eating. That takes us to 10 o'clock at night. And I know our backup for that is the OneRing.net's The Truth About the Hobbit. But as cool as that sounds, the psychology of cosplay just sounds too irresistible to me. Would you agree?
Yeah, I think that would be interesting.
Yeah. All right. Well, so we're going to wrap things up. Tomorrow we'll have a lot more exciting things to talk about. We'll have all the stuff that we've seen, plus we'll talk about whatever it is we're going to do Saturday. And maybe we'll record more of our conversation.
I must say, David, you must be a pretty popular guy if people want to listen to you wax about organizing your schedule.
You know me.
So tomorrow I'm going to go take a breakfast. I'm thinking maybe Captain Crunch, but I may just go for Special K.
This is like verbal Twitter right here. It's more characters.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we'll see you tomorrow with more from New York Comic Con.
We hope you've been enjoying the Lancast.
This episode was produced by myself, David Moulton, with show notes by Keith and Lauren Slusser.
All pertinent links to this episode can be found in the show notes at thelancast.com.
If you specifically liked this episode, we ask that you consider making a donation.
Every little bit helps. Even $1 a show can keep us going.
If you'd like to help support us, you can do so by going to thelancast.com/donate.
And don't forget to subscribe in iTunes and tell a friend about the show.
So for the Lancast, I'm David Moulton,
And I'm Keith Slesser.
asking, are you in the cast?